Alright, here we are switching it up a bit on episode 4. I'm gonna have a layman here who's not really a layman, but he's a layman as far as the depth of platform knowledge and execution that I believe I have, just like I'm a layman to his creative ability to ask some questions in the absence of an audience that I will hopefully one day have. Right, so he's gonna ask you whatever he thinks is interesting, and I'm gonna give my live opinion and take and feedback on that headline once he's asked it. Press. So Todd, his name is Todd.
Hey.
Take it away with your first question and let me know what you think is important to you about the news.
Alright, so Facebook introduced shops. I believe that's what the headline said.
Yeah.
For social commerce.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Alright, cool. Well, shops is an integration to Facebook. So Facebook is now trying to make it easier to shop online and making it native to shop online. A dangerous move to other forms of shopping, because now you see your attention is on the social media platform. So social is probably the first place you come across something that you want to buy nowadays. A lot more things pass your feed than you actually see with your eyes in a given day, right? Or you pay attention to. So seeing as most of your attention is spent on that phone, that cellular device in your hand, that's usually where you see the thing that you want to buy first. You may see it in a store later and say, ooh, I really want to buy this, and not remember that it first started with a post. But it is almost definitely the place that you first saw the thing you want to buy, whether you remember that or not. Right? So the ability to buy it at the place that you first come into contact with it, or desire it, right, from visual simulation or otherwise, is a helping hand to the shopping experience. It does make it easier to shop there. It makes you more likely to buy it there. It makes you more willing to convert typically, because you don't have to go through the friction of having seen it and then go on and on and on. Now, it's not necessarily checkout. They haven't put in checkout yet, so you're not paying for it one time, right? But it's more like not just browse, but it's a browse and intent to buy, so they will take you through to messaging, right, natively. But you'll be messaging about that product. So like little things make a difference. So maybe someone goes to a shop, they see something, they message, and above the message is the item that they're talking about one time. So they're not seeing the item coming out, going into your chat, messaging you, telling you, hey, about X, Y, and Z item, which item, this handbag, which one of the white handbags, this one of the white handbags, the LV or the MK, and you go into the, I'm probably so off trend, right? LV or the MK, women's handbags are not my forte. LV, making women want to buy handbags is my forte. LV and the MKs, and they're like, I'm in the MK, which edition, this edition, and you're like, alright, cool. You finally send the information, then you ask them for the necessary follow-up information, contact number, the address, etc. You tell them, please see the details for shopping info. They come back, they give you 2 out of the 5 details. There's a lot that's avoided when they just message and reply to the item that they want, and you have what you want in the information. So you can just tell them, check the description and send you the information you asked for.
Nice.
After you've double checked your own description to make sure it's actually there, because you added that into other ones from the people who ask you for the first ones, and you're actually not sure when that started, but you didn't go back and fix the first ones, right? And you let them know, send you that information, and they send it to you. Or you just know one time what they're talking about. So it does make it easier. The trick is not to indulge, not to overindulge at least, and what seems like a good thing, because then you give all your merit to Facebook, right? So you want to have a website that can stand on its own, so that people can go to other places and get your brand. Because then what happens when all your sales are on Facebook? Everybody has gotten to the habit of buying you on Facebook, and then Facebook's price goes up. The price to advertise goes up. They have a transaction rate that's higher than the transaction rate you would have had on your own website. Facebook has their own fulfillment service that they put into place where they deliver the packages, and you have to use it. And then that rate goes up. What happens when you have to shop with their currency? There are so many questions, right? But if you've built your entire empire on the back of it, and they hit you with this bait and switch, then you're screwed. You may not be screwed, but you definitely feel the pinch. And to now try to move your audience to another place that is more friction than buying it right there, when it's already pinching you, it's a very difficult endeavor. So you want to set yourself up for success by diversifying your channels. Very important. Diversifying your channels for your customer shopping experience and incentivizing them to take that extra step of friction to make it worth their while and make it worth your while and buy it from somewhere else as well. Shops.
Huge.
Next. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that's really
Let's
good.
stay on Facebook. Let's stay
Sure.
on Facebook.
Mhm.
So shareholders are trying to block something.
Encryption?
Yeah. I understand.
Alright, cool.
Encryption, but
Alright. Well, the encryption, because we know we had an encryption issue with BlackBerry. BBM used to be encrypted. That means that the information was coded so that persons from the outside could not access what you said on the platform. So what you said is secure, right? Not even them, the persons that own the platform can extrapolate what it is that you've been said through the encryption, right? BlackBerry used to have it. Then they had the London riots in the UK, and they were coordinating their attacks and their protests via BBM. This was dealt with very quietly. British are masters of media. They don't let bad publicity get out at any cost, right? But it was really bad. It was a real mess inside of the UK, and they were evading the police quite successfully, and they had a very efficient series of protests and riot fuel attacks on the back of those coordinated BBM attacks that the police were unable to get intel from. Totally dark. There are no phone records or messages to pull. So they just had no idea when persons would strike, and they took advantage of that BBM and came together behind their anger and acted as a unit for their greater execution. And it was working, and then eventually, BBM had to hand over their records and transcripts and end the encryption. And after that came the demise of BlackBerry Messenger, and the riots were placated. But encryption is a big deal. It keeps you secure, despite what people might think, because they know Facebook and safety and trust are delicate matters. They don't usually sit well together. But despite that, Messenger is very secure. It's encrypted. It's safe. And shareholders are saying that they believe that needs to change, and that your information needs to be available. All your messages, and DMs, and WhatsApps need to be available. Needs to not be protected and hidden and coded, because that can encourage criminal activity, and it sets a haven or a space for persons to behave in unscrupulous behaviors in a space where a lot of the population dwells, especially the children, and people are concerned in having that information encrypted. While yes, good for our privacy, that privacy is not good for the health of the persons and children involved, which is crazy, because I know they were so big on privacy when they were firing Facebook. But say what? Encryption.
alright, cool. On a lighter note, so people are shopping for entertainment sake.
Entertainment sake. Yeah, people are bored. They're bored of shopping as a fun activity. People shop for fun. It's a real thing. Apparently, 1 in every 3 persons shops for fun. Although I do believe, although it wasn't cited, I heavily believe that is a US quoted statistic. But US tend to be a good analog as to where behavior in the US will head towards, at least currently, right, when it comes to digital habits. So yeah, people shop for fun. Shopping for fun is a real thing. I mean, that would have been a stereotype there. I think I'm going to tuck that away. I'm going to tuck that back inside. But swimsuits. Yeah. But ain't nobody going to the beach that often. People shop for fun. This is okay. Binge shopping, controlled doses of shopping, aspirational shopping. People buy that thing they always wanted, whether it be a house or a car. Some people just buy a lot of small things. They just buy a lot of clothes. They binge shop. Some people just love to fill up their cart and press one quick buy. Some people like to just shop incrementally and just feel their life progressively get better. But shopping is the cure when boredom is a sickness. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. I got cues to wrap up. That's what that pause was. I was being cued to wrap up. I was being hustled, actually. Hurried up to get off this set. So I guess that's the last question. Nothing else interesting. I personally, what's new Wednesday? There are some things I consider interesting, but Those things I consider interesting are the exact reason why I did not pick the headlines. And I had someone who was not as deep in it pick it for me because those things boring. They're not good for consumers and they're not good for my viewing audience. So I think that these do encapsulate the things that will most directly affect the average listener. And if you need something a bit more technical, something a bit deeper, something a bit more to the advertising, marketing side, etc., platform dynamics, you can get that stuff on the podcast that's about to launch. Social Saturday might be the name of it, Social Sunday, Social Selects, Social Secrets. I like alliterations. 2 S's. There'll be at least 2 S's, right? Whatever the name does turn out to be, right? That's all for today. Until tomorrow, and by tomorrow, we all know I mean next week Sunday. Take care. Bye bye.